The United States Ambassador to France is the official representative of the President of the United States to the head of state of France. There has been a U.S. Ambassador to France since the American Revolution. The United States sent its first envoys to France in 1776, towards the end of the 4 centuries-old Bourbon dynasty. The American diplomatic relationship with France has continued throughout that country's 5 republican regimes, 2 periods of French Empire, the Bourbon Restoration, and its July monarchy. After the Battle of France, the United States maintained diplomatic relations with Vichy France until France severed them on the date Operation Torch was launched in November 1942. The embassy was reopened December 1944. United States representatives in Paris. United States envoys to France: Benjamin Franklin, Arthur Lee, Silas Dean Deck, 1776 to 1779. United States Ministers Plenipotentiary to France: Benjamin Franklin, appointed September 14, 1778, presented credentials March 23, 1779, termination of mission May 17, 1785. Thomas Jefferson, appointed March 10, 1785, presented credentials May 17, 1785, termination of mission September 26, 1789. William Short, April 20, 1790, May 15, 1792. Gouverneur Morris, 1792 to 1794. James Monroe, 1794 to 1796. Charles Cotesworth Pinckney, 1796 to 1797. Robert R. Livingston, 1801 to 1804. John Armstrong, 1804 to 1810. Joel Barlow, 1811 to 1812. William H. Crawford, 1813 to 1815. Albert Gallatin, July 16, 1816, May 16, 1823. James Brown, 1824 to 1829. William C. Rives, 1829 to 1833. Levitt Harris, April 1833, September 1833. Edward Livingston, 1833 to 1836. Louis Cass, 1836 to 1842. William Rufus King, 1844 to 1846. Richard Rush, 1847 to 1848. Richard Rush, 1848 to 1849. William Cabell Rives, 1849 to 1853. John Y. Mason, 1853 to 1859. William L. Dayton, 1861 to 1864. John Bigelow, 1864 to 1866. John Adams Dix, 1866 to 1869. Elihu B. Washburn, 1869 to 1877. Edward F. Noyes, 1877 to 1881. Levi P. Morton, 1881 to 1885. Robert N. Milligan McLean, 1885 to 1889. Whitelaw Reid, 1889 to 1892. T. Jefferson Coolidge, 1893 to 1893. United States Ambassadors Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary to France during the French Third Republic: James Biddle Eustace, 1893 to 1897. Horace Porter, 1897 to 1905. Robert Sanderson McCormick, 1905 to 1907. Henry White, 1907 to 1909. Robert Bacon, 1909 to 1912. Myron T. Herrick, 1912 to 1914. William Graves Sharp, 1914 to 1919. Hugh Campbell Wallace, 1919 to 1921. Myron T. Herrick, 1921–1929. Walter E. Edge, 1929–1933. Jesse Isidore Strauss, 1933–1936. William C. Bullitt, 1936–1940. William D. Leahy, 1941–1942. After Leahy left, S. Pinckney Tuck served as interim charge d'affaires until France severed diplomatic relations with the U.S. on November 8, 1942, the date of Operation Torch. Jefferson Caffrey, December 30, 1944–1949. The embassy in Paris had been opened to the public December 1, 1944, with Ambassador Caffrey in charge pending presentation of his letter of credence. David K. Bruce, 1949–1952. James C. Dunn, 1950–1953. C. Douglas Dillon, 1953–1957. Amory Houghton, 1957–1961. James M. Gavin, 1961–1962. Charles E. Bolan, 1962–1968. Robert Sargent Shriver, Jr., 1968–1970. Arthur K. Watson, 1970–1972. John N. Irwin, II, 1973–1974. Kenneth Rush, 1974–1977. Arthur A. Hartman, 1977–1981. Evan Griffith Galbraith, 1981–1985. Joe M. Rogers, 1985–1989. Walter Early, 1989–1993. Pamela Harriman, 1993–1997. Felix Rohatton, 1997–2000. Howard H. Leach, 2001–2005. Craig Robert Stapleton, 2005–2009. Charles Rivkin, 2009–2013. Mark A. Taplin, 2013–2014. Jane D. Hartley, October 31, 2014 present.